Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. What needs to happen in order for you to supersize your business? Not what do you want to happen, what do you think has to happen, what absolutely positively needs to happen in order for you to grow and create the business that you want. I have a mentor that recently posed to me the question, what do you need to become, or who do you need to become to be the leader that you want to be, or to create the business you want to create, or to have the life of your dreams, or to get whatever it is that you want to get? And that got me to thinking this morning, well, how does that apply to my business? How does that apply to my businesses? How does that apply to my life? How has that applied to my work life? And what does it mean to me? Well, first thing I did is what I always do. I got out a pad of paper and I started brainstorming, what do I have to become? What do I need to supersize and grow my business? And I started to make this big list of things. And then as I'm looking at the list and the things that I wrote down, I asked myself the question. So I challenge you today to brainstorm the list of what do I need in order for my business to be what I want it to be and to supersize. It gets us future thinking instead of necessarily being mired in the crap that's going on right now. Because I don't know about your life and your businesses, but pretty much every day some poop hits the fan and stuff happens and we just deal with it. That's inherent in having a business. That's inherent in having a life, right? Stuff just happens and we do the best we can to manage and control and figure out and have systems and procedures and processes in place to handle the what ifs of the world. But things that we can't even imagine happen every single day. That is the nature of life. Our life is always changing. Everything around us is always changing. Life is pretty much chaos and we're in the middle of it, orchestrating how we want things to be. So I started looking at my list and some of the things on it. And I remembered back to growing my Italian food manufacturing business. And one of the things that I consciously decided was that we were going to only be this big. We were only going to be a certain size. And as I'm making this list today, I realized that because some of the things that I wrote down and my brainstorm were, if we're going to grow, in order to grow, I have to work more. I have to work harder. I have to put in more hours. Another thing I wrote down was, if we make more money, we have to pay more taxes. We have to deal with the ramifications and the outcome of making more money. Now, these are two examples that I'm pulling up for a really specific reason. And why I'm asking you to look at your brainstorm list and ask the question, really, is this really true? Is this a fact? Is this an absolute truth? Or is this just a matter of my perspective and what I'm thinking and the way I am looking at it? Guess what? I don't need to do everything in my business. I don't need to work more or work harder to grow my business. And what I actually found in the Italian food business was that I could work 10 hours a week and actually have a bigger, better business than when I was working 70 to 80 hours a week. How ego busting and enlightening was that little discovery? Amazing. The other one was the whole tax question. I have no idea where that belief came from, but that was a belief that I had that was totally limiting my ability to supersize and grow my business. So bottom line, what does all this mean? Why do I want you to brainstorm a list of what do I need to supersize my business? And then I want you to step back and look at that list and say, really? Is this really true? And I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Excuse me. Is this really true? Because it's a way to identify our limiting beliefs. And what I will tell you as a painful confession is whenever I do an exercise like this, whenever I ask this question of myself or any of my coaching and consulting clients, this is what happens. It always, and this is really hard to admit, but it always boils down to something I, or the owner, or the management team, or the leadership group is thinking or doing that is based on a limiting belief or a different way of looking at something. And if they just change their perspective, if we just look at the situation from a different angle, if I just look at something from a different angle, or if I ask myself, is this really true? Is this a fact? Or is this just something based on the beliefs that I've gotten over my life experiences? Is this really so? And the way to know if it's true or not is say, is this absolutely fact and true for anybody on the planet, everybody on the planet? And if the answer is no, well, then it's not true for me either, right? So if I think that the only way to grow my business is if I put in more hours and I work harder, I ask myself, is that true for everybody else on the planet? Well, absolutely positively not. Think of Tim Ferriss, the 4-hour work week. Think of, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. They don't have to work harder to make more money, right? So if they don't have to, neither do I. And that's what I do now. I say, okay, well, is this just the way I'm thinking and looking at this? Am I the one holding me back? Yeah, absolutely, positively. So as hard as it is to admit, oftentimes, okay, I'm just going to say it right out, all the time, whenever you hit a stall or a block or an obstacle in your business, it's the way you're looking at it. There are no obstacles to creating whatever or anything that we want for our business, including growing and supersizing our business. It can be whatever we want it to, as long as we're willing to look at what we're creating now and say, is this really true? Is this holding us back? And then as soon as you see that, as soon as you say, oh my God, this is right in my face holding me back, the answer to overcome that obstacle just appears. I don't know. It's almost like magic. It's not magic. It's the way our brain works. But again, once I realized that I was my biggest obstacle to building my businesses, actually to becoming the person I want to become, to being and doing and having whatever I want to be or do or have, that was kind of scary because it's like, all right, I guess I am a problem to myself, but I am a problem to myself. That means I am also the solution to the problem. It's a matter of asking a better question, asking other people, well, is this true for you? How did you overcome this? Because guess what? We are never the only one that has the same belief or the same obstacle or the same challenge. I mean, we're not that unique and special. We're all unique and special, but I guarantee someone else has lived through the exact situation, the exact problem, the exact challenge that you're living through right now. So ask for help. That's a biggie for me. That's been one of my biggest obstacles and biggest challenges in my entire life. It's just asking the question, asking for help, asking what other people do to find the success that they want, and then modeling that. So do this today. Brainstorm. What do I need to, or what do we need to, it's a great management team meeting topic. What do we need to supersize and grow our business? And you can fill in the exact goal of what you're trying to achieve. What do I need to be $1 billion business? Or what do we need to create to be $1 billion business? What do we need to create to make $100,000 a month? What do we need to create to make $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever it is for you and your business? That's it. Enough rambling. Go out, make it a fantastic Supersize Your Business day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.